So, very good afternoon, e-citizens. Reason for calling everybody e-citizens is now, since as Madam already told that we had been exponentially growing in ICT usage. Even the IPv4 that was envisaged quite a few years earlier has got exhausted, and now IPv6 is the new generation. So taking that point of view, even the IT infrastructure that has been utilized as of now for state data center or any other data center to host the applications and webs, even that is getting overloaded with the computing power that is required for each of the applications. So keeping in that into mind, Maharashtra in earlier days of year back, okay, 2011, okay, so it was envisaged that since we are already having such a large infrastructure available, now since Maharashtra had already set up such a large infrastructure as state data center, and we had already procured the IT computing, server, storage, hardware, networks, security, all those equipments, but there had been a limitation in the usage of that. Now, if suppose there are 10 to 20 applications running in a state data center, then each one in a traditional fashion would have required 10 to 20 machines. Now, to address those requirements, Secretary IT had a vision of he already thought like there would be exponential growth in the number of applications that would be hosted in state data center. So keeping that into mind and to have effective and efficient utilization of SDC, he thought of taking this state data center to a new level. So cloud computing is the booming age as of now. Okay, so that was thought very well earlier. Okay, so that was the briefing, how this Mahagaon cloud has evolved and how it started. So taking the glance of Maharashtra State Data Center, as of now, we are having 1,450 square feet of area, wherein we are having 39 racks hosted. We have 86 TB of storage capacity. We are tier 2 data center having 99.74% of uptime. We have our own IPv6 v4 blocks available with us. We have more than 150 applications hosted from the state data center as of now. The services that are being offered is cloud services, managed hosting, and co-location services. So in cloud services, the user department just has to bring its own application and websites. Rest of the infrastructure will be provided by state data center. So a virtual instance on cloud would be created, which can be used by the department for hosting their application and running it through state data center. In managed hosting, we provide dedicated servers to them. In co-location services, user department has some specific requirements and they wish to bring their own IT infrastructure into data center. So we allow that as well. So these are the three large overview of the services that is being provided from state data center as of now. So we definitely encourage cloud services. Reason being, it will decrease the footprint, overall carbon footprint, the utilization of energy would decrease. Our all kind of resources will be effectively and efficiently utilized. Now to give, as I briefed you earlier, like we already had conceptualized during 2011. So proof of concept was organized in 2011 November. Then it led to, after we got the successful results, we went ahead with full-fledged cloud implementation in 2012. So now some, as has already been mentioned by Secretary Sir, that we are the first and only cloud setup that has been set up by a government for a government entity. So we are having very high volume of applications running there. We have our own IP blocks. We are already having membership with Appning and Irene, so we are completely vendor independent in terms of ISPs. And the latest thing, the next buzz IPv6, we have successfully tested that end to end. And now we will go ahead with rollout of applications and SWAN for IPv6. So keeping in that into mind, self-sustenance is a major challenge for any kind of services to be run from data center. So a rate chart has been published for the government entities, wherein we are providing the services based on some predefined rates. Now these rates are very, very competitive to the most of the private sector cloud service providers. So that's the most unique features about Mahagaon Cloud. Now talking about cloud into more depth, we have Microsoft as well as VMware Cloud implemented. On Microsoft, we have 6 physical machines wherein we are running 25 virtual machines. Total applications in productions, 7 as of now. So we are still moving into upgradation to 2012. VMware, we are having 24 physical machines, 300 plus virtual machines created, and 143 applications successfully running on that. So this is the overview of the architecture that has been deployed. So this is for illustrative purpose. So we have at the bottom layer, we have the common resources being utilized through VMware, vSphere, Microsoft hypervisors. So using such technologies, we are utilizing the physical resources that is being shared over cloud, and we provide hosting as well as storage and all those services through this setup. Now talking about security, security has been a major concern for most of the cloud service providers as well. So keeping in that into mind, we see the security aspect, we cannot or nobody can ensure 100% compliance to security. So there are some precautions that can be taken, which we have already implemented into our state data center. So the major points that would be addressed would be user awareness should be there, like the departments, whoever are the users, they needs to be made aware of the security threats available prevailing right now in internet. Then we have also increased the maturity of security processes that has been implemented. We are already going ahead with ISO processes implementation as well. So continuous monitoring is also an important aspect. Security at each layer has been envisaged. Security will be a priority in each of the initiatives. So hand in hand with developers, user departments, users is the key factor for assuring the optimum security. Now, talking about cloud, there are 3 major services provided: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a services. So when we talk about control and flexibility of security, okay, so as we move towards software as a services, the actual ownership of control would be more with state data center. And as we move toward infrastructure as a service, wherein hosts IT infrastructure, physical hardware, okay, that is being hosted for the department, the liability of department increases there because the management and control remains with the department. So the benefits that has been achieved so far: lower costs. We have been using lower physical resources. The operational cost has come down, like very well mentioned by sir. We have invested 2 crore and got a benefit of and saved something around 50 crore. We have proved for agility. We have eliminated the procurement process cycle for user departments. The time to provision for hardware, software has come down. We have efficiently utilized the existing resources. In case there is maintenance to be carried out, then no downtime is required. We can shift the machine from one cloud to another, and we can carry out our maintenance. This is a universal and shared resource access wherein we are having a common platform built for the government departments, easily accessible, which will result into better monitoring and management. Backup restoration is an important aspect in case of a disaster. If something goes down, then backup and restoration is much more easier for these virtual machines rather than traditional backups. And the onus of updation of software, patches, everything is with state data center. The user department need not worry about the patches and updates. So all the technology that is being used within data center would be latest. Collaboration, anytime, anywhere access. Departments can focus on their core functions. They need not be very much IT savvy. So everything, the ownership and the IT experts are available in state data center for user departments. So that has been the overall benefits. These are just a few of them. Now, while deploying cloud, there has been a lot of lessons learned. So initially, it was planned to go ahead with providing many services. So we started with infrastructure as a services and platform as a services, because unless and until you have your complete end-to-end software available with us, you cannot go ahead with software as a service. So start with IaaS, PaaS. Capacity planning is an important factor. Whenever we are deploying or implementing a cloud, capacity, whatever is available with us, RAM, GB, CPUs, everything that should be properly planned, and it should be in ratio. Now, rule-based auto-scaling for resources, one important aspect of cloud services, it is having orchestration layer wherein resources are automatically allocated to the required virtual machine based on the requirement. Okay, so even whatever network is to be envisaged for public traffic, for management, for internal traffic, monitoring traffic, that needs to be factored according to your requirements. Licensing policy, an important aspect, whatever operating system and the databases that we are procuring, that needs to be efficiently planned, and licensing should be purchased accordingly. Backup and replication for entire virtual instance needs to be taken, so that if any virtual instance goes down, entire backup of that virtual instance is available. Awareness to departments and the developers should be always carried out, so that they can be aware about the latest developments that has been going on, as well as the compliance for getting them into cloud is achieved. Key takeaways.
Just sorry for interruption. Miss Reena has to leave because she has a flight. So we will thank you for.
So some of the key learnings for even the cloud service providers who wants to go ahead with cloud, particularly some state governments that wish to go ahead with cloud implementation, they can have 4 options. They can have private cloud service provider in their own data center, state nodal agency that can take a lead and act as a cloud service provider. Third option, state SDC as cloud service provider, and fourth option is dedicated government cloud can be created for multiple states, which can be used as like we are using it for Maharashtra as of now. The same services can be extended to some other states as well. So this is the beauty of implementing cloud. Chargeback and sustenance, like I spoke earlier, we have prepared the rate charts. It initially started with free offering to the departments. We are having metering mechanism. Okay, whoever wants to opt for the cloud services, they can get that cloud services on monthly basis as well as on 15 days basis as well. So we also encourage the Government of India funded schemes which are into execution of e-governance can be hosted in state data center. That is encouraged. This is a sample report that is generated for chargeback on how it looks. Whatever the services are being provisioned from the data center will be having a chargeback modality to the user departments. So it's a glimpse of that. So these are the two Scotch awards that Mahagao Cloud has already got. Way ahead, IPv6 rollout for applications, SWAN. We are into increasing the capacity of SDC. You can also do it self-provisioning. We will also provide self-provisioning for the departments wherein they can directly log into a portal. Whatever virtual machine they require, whatever storage they require, they can directly factor it there and they will get the machine within a couple of hours. Continual improvement and innovation is the way ahead. So we are looking into providing and innovating more and more services to be given through SDC Cloud. We also encourage a cloud community wherein government departments can participate for creating and helping and encouraging the usage of cloud, and business continuity and disaster recovery that we have already gone ahead with as of now for a couple of sites and a couple of applications. For data center, rest of the application, it is still under pipeline and we are going ahead with that. So that's the journey of state data center and it will continue.